Chelsea are in a big mess. Chelsea have been caught cheating on the Eden Hazard deal. Eden Hazard, very fantastic player, beautiful player. We all know who Eden Hazard was in the Premier League. Eden Hazard, brought in by Abramovich. Abramovich really bringing a lot of good players to Chelsea. But there are new reports that the deal is being scrutinized and it has been found out to be fraudulent. We are going to be looking at that today, as well at the same time. We are going to be looking at the situation with Manchester City. Where exactly are they? What are the likely things we expect from the Manchester City versus the Premier League, debacle, the court case, and many of these things. Manchester United missed out on Eden Hazard deal due to agent secret payment demand. So this actually happened in 2012, the situation where Manchester United were in the front seat to bring in Eden Hazard. And what really happened after that time, at the 11th hour, almost at the close of the deal, Chelsea went in for the deal and were able to get their man. But they did not just get their man easily. They had to pay a bribe, and I'm going to read out the whole situation right now. And as we can see on the screen, and according to the New York Times, it says Manchester United missed out on Eden Hazard deal due to agent secret payment demand. In 2012, Manchester United were close to signing Eden Hazard from Lille, having agreed broad transfer fee and a personal fee. However, the deal collapsed when Eden Hazard agent John Biko allegedly demanded a secret multi-million pound payment, that is £1 million, through the club and several millions directly from the owners. United refused, citing Premier League, and UEFA rules, and Hazard instead joined Chelsea. Biko is now facing, financial crimes charges in Belgium. Unrelated to this case, they had to point that out. A Premier League investigation is ongoing into claims that Chelsea's former owner, Roman Abramovich, made a €7 million payment offshore, to Biko in 2013. Leaked documents suggest Chelsea made other secret payments during Abramovich ownership. Chelsea, however, under the new ownership since 2022, reported potential irregularities to regulators and paid a £10 million, a €10 million, UEFA fine for past FFP breaches. The new owners are cooperating with investigation and withheld £150 million from Abramovich's sale to cover potential sanctions. So this is the latest news. This is where we are. This is what we are talking about. Talking about how or what is happening in the EPL right now. For the fact that certain clubs have the capacity to be able to bring in any kind of player that they want to bring in. But before I go into this, it is a very important that I give, a lot of respect to the new Chelsea owners. The new Chelsea owners, since they became the Chelsea owners, have actually tried to clean up the club, try to, clean the books, make Chelsea become healthy financially, and do the right things, which I believe is also in the right direction. Because according to reports, they are actually the one that reported these situations. They brought it out. They said they saw irregularities in their own books and the documentation from the past, and they really want to fix that. So on that, kudos to them. On that, they have done really very well. Handling the situation the proper way, saying the truth, and even on the fact that about if you remember some couple of weeks ago, there were also issues with Chelsea where I made a video on it where we talked about Chelsea selling off assets and even selling off the branch of their female football club to another owner, which actually also is a subsidiary of those who currently own Chelsea right now. But that is done in a bid to make sure that they meet the FFP rules, they meet the all the regulation rules, they meet the financial fair play rules, so that they can actually will not be fined for that. So this might sound more or less like an attack on Chelsea. No, this is not an attack on Chelsea. As a matter of fact, I'm proud of the Chelsea owners. I'm proud of what they have done, and as you can see in this document, it is saying that they are going to be holding on to Abramovich's money for quite a while, so that they are able to settle things that happened during the Abramovich period. So now all of these things leads to where we are in the Premier League right now. Where we are in the Premier League right now, personally, I believe if the regulations are not fixed, if the regulations are not there, I see clubs like, Newcastle right now winning the FA Cup for the first time in about 72 years. That is their first title in about 72 or so years. If they were not able to have that level of investment, they might not have been able to win that kind of a title. I mean, kudos to fans, kudos to people that watch the EPL, for example. They are the real MVP because they have been able to point out all of these things for a while back, including myself. Because how can Manchester City be able to get in certain players? How can, other big clubs be able to get in certain players, even Chelsea, for example? And the business are just so easy to do. The business are just so cool to do. They get in these players and win titles. The disadvantage of other teams that cannot or are following the FFP rule. So when we look at it from this standpoint, I think Chelsea owners have really, really done well by coming out, by trying to clean the books, by trying to do what is right by themselves and also what is healthy for the EPL. Because the reality is, if it continues this way, if clubs are able to cook the books, if the clubs are able to, make sure, for example, that they can actually bring in any players, cook the books, like to the regulators, we are actually going astray. We are going astray in the EPL because many other clubs will pick up that habit and they will be able to defend it very, very well in court. So this is going to lead me to the issue of Manchester City right now. Where is Manchester City with their case? We have not really heard anything about the Manchester City case. We only know that we are waiting for a verdict, which we have not heard of. And to be very honest, I'm less optimistic about it because the reality of it is that if they have to punish Manchester City, for example, a lot of things will happen. A lot of clubs too will need to go down. A lot of clubs that have done this in the past will also need to go down. So what I think they would do, just my own speculation, is that they would rather let the case be maybe just a few points or maybe no punishment at all. Just let the case be and probably just find a way to patch it up. Because Manchester City is a very, very big club in England, for example, and with the kind of offense they say they have been alleged to commit, if the punishment are going to be coming to Manchester City for FFP, for a host of other business dealings like that, it is going to affect so many other clubs. So I think the Premier League and the regulatory body, the FA, they really, really need to come together and do the things that are right. They need to do the things that are very, very important to keep the sanctity of the league that we love to watch. So this video is actually not any attack on any Chelsea fan or the Chelsea Football Club. It is saying that kudos to Chelsea, kudos to the new owners of Chelsea. Fine, you might not be in the Champions League right now, or you might not be where you want to be, but I believe the owners are doing the right thing. Is trying to make the club stronger, trying to put Chelsea in a healthy place, and amongst many of this conversation. During the Abramovich period, one of the things we can remember Abramovich for is that whatever he wants, he gets. Whatever kind of player Abramovich wants, he gets. He's able to bring them in. He's able to make them play for him. So all of these things, fans were noticing these things, and kudos to the fans for noticing as well. So guys, I really, really want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this? Do you really, really think Chelsea are doing fine? Minus their current position in the Premier League, their current standing in the Premier League, they need to clean the club. Do you respect the Todd Bowley-led, administration of Chelsea, for what they are doing? Do you really, really think they are doing nice? I really want to hear from you. We need to discuss about it, guys. So that is from me for now. Until next time, I'm going to be seeing you.